What? That's no intentional at all.
Aye,
You're pathetic. That's pretty pathetic.
Me and you had a wee bust up last week, didn't we? I'm beating everybody's head off.
Did it carry on filming when that happened?
Probably did.
Continued after it.
Maybe leak it later on the season.
I didn't. I've been beating everybody's head off, innit?
What's up with you, wee man? Is it because you're a wee pod? Is it because of the wee podcast?
David, the wee
Getting
podcast.
too much for you?
Because it's doing all right.
We'll take it off you. We'll get to somebody else.
Listen, by the way, that'll become massive. That.
How's it been?
It was good last week.
What'll become massive? That?
No,
That's the thing.
scrolling the new innit?
Oh, I thought you were talking about that.
It's long going that.
That'll become massive.
No, listen, it's going to become massive, and I think there's a wee feel about the place. You know that as well, don't you? It's just a wee bit of joke in a wee podcast and that.
No, it's good. I actually really enjoy it. Your brother's good on it.
I've enjoyed listening to it, to be fair. I don't know what happened to Scotty McLaughlin. No, that definitely wasn't him that was on it, but it's been good.
You need to get Scotty on, he'll be good on it. Scotty McLaughlin will be good. I can't believe there's still stains on that.
Mate, couldn't watch it.
Do you know what?
Honestly, I stopped work this morning.
I know, but wait, but that stain was there the last time.
It's obviously a stain that's there. It's a stain from
And it's
either
never
side.
going.
It's no going. And I'm not that
You know got
fucking...
that pink stuff being in?
Aye, fucking, what do you call it? I don't know what you mean.
Stain remover.
Aye. I started work this morning at 4, so I
Good
woke
on you,
up
big
at
Much you made so far?
a few quid, aye.
Have you, mate?
Aye, so
He's
I
telling
just
us,
take
mate,
that.
Dell, what he makes.
So I just didn't talk about that too much. Tax
man.
No, I'm joking.
I think we just patch football a day last
Patch Football's shite, man.
This is the weekend of hell.
Let's talk about something else.
Football's shite.
His results this weekend have been horrific.
Broomhill 20s scudded. Broomhill first team scudded. Hearts scudded. Rangers beat. I'll drop points. Neilston Robbie's team beat. Honestly, mate, I've just been scudded.
Keevan's over 35's team got beat as well, didn't they? He won goals, didn't he?
Absolutely
Seriously, what
shocker.
hat-trick he got for
It's been a bad weekend.
But it's always a good weekend for Grosvenor Sport.
Oh my God, what
Always.
a weekend.
Good.
6-0.
6-0 again.
6-0, I beat Bet 365, I think.
No, they
6-0.
beat Alexander Usyk, didn't they?
Oh, did they?
They had a fought him after the Joshua fight in the car park, back and fuck it.
Aye. Love that.
What about Joshua? Lost his melon, didn't he?
What's he doing? Let you sit.
He's fucking
He's
lost
gone.
it.
That's concussion, that. He's got to have been
He's
concussed.
fucking...
I ain't no amateur boxer from Fiver. I was a youth.
Sorry, you say?
Did you see it?
I can't go 12 rounds. Look at the size of me.
Have you seen some of the things on Twitter?
But I didn't
It's like
understand.
Morelos, Van Bronckhorst asking Morelos why he can't run a bit for 90 minutes. Unreal. Right, sign up to Grosvenor Sport, bet £5, get £25 in free bets on any sport. Sign up at gsport.com/open goal. Any other sports on this
Superb.
weekend that he's watched now?
No.
The boxing, obviously.
Formula 1 starts back next week, doesn't he?
I Steve Clark's
He's been on
busy,
holiday.
innit?
Aye.
He's busy practicing.
Bite marks on his gear stick, isn't there?
I've got Steve's.
Oh. Is that a fake sneeze? Are you fake sneezing?
No, I feel dust in my nose.
I got
Where's your nose been?
I got another lookalike shout.
Your man's knickers are on.
I got another lookalike shout in the garage, don't I?
I Andy Murray.
Andy Murray, mate.
I've always thought you look like Andy Murray. It's like Andy Murray and
Or
Andy
he
Murray.
Arnold's granda. He Arnold's granda.
I don't know who the fuck that is. But it's not going to be great.
That's unreal.
No, but I'm not going to say that because he get Andy Murray. What would you say is the...
Oh, he's an Andy Murray accent.
No, I can't.
I like that.
No doing accents.
Go on, just try one. You've not done it for a while. Come on, just have you Andy Murray one. Have you got Andy Murray in your locker?
I've not got Andy Murray in my locker.
Try, come on.
No, I can't.
Just say these balls
Andy Murray.
are. Just say these balls are too soft.
Ask Andy Murray today. Ask Judy.
That's just a Scottish accent.
It's like Andy and Judy, isn't it?
Fucking punching Judy.
What is the worst look like you've had through your career?
Worst look like I've had a few bad ones actually.
You're miles better with that dash.
I've got the tashes. I went and got a clean shave a day for the Turkish, £8 and then leave the tash. Oh, how's Boca? I need to ask you. See the summer camp. There's new camps just starting.
New nighttime sessions now. Obviously, we've got a pants family put down with the with the letting system.
That's it, mate. I need to say, I don't know if you mind me saying, but the money you're paying for pitches is a disgrace. You're trying to help kids in Finiston.
So that's where I grew up, Anderson. Well, people haven't got a lot, and I'm not one of the ones that use that, but people haven't got a lot, especially these days after COVID and that. For 4 weeks we done the summer camp, $9,000 it cost.
For the pitch?
For the pitch, over $2,000, and then the first 2 weeks, there was nets on, and then the last 2 weeks there was
Fish nets, it was on you had on.
fish nets. I told my ma came up with them one. She was cracking. The kids all loved all that. But with that part side, the last 2 weeks when we spent over £9,000, there was no nets in the goal. Somebody took them down, and then when we messaged the letting system, they said you need to provide your own nets. Now that makes no sense. Imagine
Is that Glasgow City Council?
I think so, aye. But imagine going to swimming and providing your own water. It makes no sense. But
I know.
That's a great analogy.
It's the size of the pitches. It's not even a big pitch for like
it's a £9,000 but it's just crazy, especially as I said, the people when you play football, it should never be that price.
See, the thing is, Paul, we're on the same boat with them because we're kids football and you're high on the pitch.
I know I've been in the same boat as you, big man.
But when you're paying, when you pay your fucking council tax, what the fuck are you getting for your council tax? Like, surely you should be able to get a discounted football pitch. We're paying for it anyway. So our council tax, it's just a joke. Rip off, especially.
Are you the same as Kev with your thing?
We're not too bad. We're 20 quid for a third of a pitch for an hour.
Okay, that's alright, isn't it?
Which is fine, but when you think of that, what he's had to pay in Glasgow City Council, and it's not even an 11-a-side park, it's a shocker.
You wouldn't mind me saying that you're actually out of pocket doing a 4-week summer camp?
Yeah.
Aye.
Which is a disgrace, isn't it?
I know he's trying to do is put back a wee bit into the kids around that area to try and give them something to do through the summer holidays. He's ended up out of pocket. Don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure if you dig a wee bit deeper, there is a lot of funding available.
No, there is, but that was the issue. Is when we got the price, we had actually emailed back saying, "Can you break the cost down to us?" Do you know what I mean? We're a community club, but we don't know what the things are. So that's where if they're charging it, they've got to tell us what they're paying for. So,
sure.
Maybe a wee raffle night. Do a wee raffle night for Boca. We get strips in.
Aye, definitely. Aye,
thanks very much.
No, we will.
We'll get Boca back to it. Is El Presidente not happy with you?
Doesn't answer anymore.
We'll get your mot to sign the fishnets enough. Raffle them up.
Right, on to the football. Hibs v Rangers. What a game at Easter Road, 2-2. Both teams consider it 2 points dropped. Hibs probably no, nah?
Nah. I think you can see with the celebrations after they equalised in the last minute. They're 2-1 down, obviously they're against Rangers. I think all Hibs fans would agree that they took a point at the start of the game. And then the manner of, obviously how they got that point, that's three results already at the start of the season. Goals came in the last minute.
Yep.
Good bit of character for them now.
Aye, and to be fair, I think you could see it coming the last sort of 10-15 minutes, obviously Rangers down to 9 men. I don't... See if you're a manager, right, you go down to 9 men, what are you doing? What's your shape?
Part of the boss.
That is on the spot here, mate. Try and win.
Well, I'm no, which is what Rangers done. And see for 20 minutes, Rangers they couldn't get past the halfway line, they couldn't get past 30 yards. They took off Ryan Kent, they took off, obviously, Morelos got sent off, they took off Cholak. They had nobody up front that could hold the ball, get them up the pitch, win a throw-in, win a free kick. So see for the last 20 minutes, it was just a training draw. It was John McLaughlin kicked it long. Davy Marshall would take it 40 yards for his own goal, dribble into the Rangers half and put it into the box. See for 20 minutes.
I know, but see on that, if if somebody is up front, if they go and squeeze Davy Marshall, he's just popping it to the right back or the left back, and they're doing the same thing anyway, no?
But see when Rangers are defending a box and they clear it, which they did numerous times, they've at least got somebody that can then contest for a second ball, hold it up, maybe win a free kick, get them up the pitch at some point. And listen, I know it's hard, it's easy for me to say, but when you're down to 9 men, you need somebody that's going to give you that type of outball. And see for the last 20 minutes, you can see that equaliser coming a mile off because it was just constant pressure for Hibs. And to be honest, if I'm being honest in general, without the red cards over the balance of play, I don't think Rangers probably felt as if they never done enough. Again,
do you see the best and worst of Barisic again? Boyle, no back post, but it's his man that comes in for that side, but then he's crossed for the second goal. On the money, and it's caviar.
I'm surprised the boy didn't start Yilmaz.
Well, I think he had a bit of shocker his first game, didn't he?
But even
he was alright, he didn't have a shocker, but
you've got to remember with Boyle for the first goal, how quick Boyle is.
Yeah.
So even if Barisic has identified him getting across the front, like if you're a split second too late, this pace of Boyle, he's away and you can't get in front of him. So you got to, but then I think the boy that's got the ball has maybe got to where he's got to a bit too easy to allow that cross to come in. So should Barisic see that from a point of view that, right, he's got by, let's get me in set first. So don't allow Boy to have that run, but block like you say, block him. But like you say, the goal, the cross for the Rangers, Lawrence, what a cross! But give credit to the boy Kolach. He made the run near post, and that allowed Lawrence to get the space.
Wow! There's only one winger at Barisic. would not be able to, would you think Barisic would be able to handle this man in his prime?
Aye, by the way,
That's my hosting picture.
how old are you there?
40.
That's
The bitch, how old does he look?
no, I was 18 there. 18 there. 18.
Do you want to touch it?
That was what was that number? Why did you ask for that? Was the number you told at the time, Matt?
It was what I was on.
That's what your number you were on.
Doubled that of the next few months when I seen with Celtic. That's my hosting picture. I'll
Some
keep that
player.
hosting.
Wonder kid back in, weren't you, mate?
What did you ask what the barber's in?
Mate, look at my hair all the end. Apart from the last one, I used to just have
That's
this.
it yours now.
Is it?
Aye.
Does that look like it?
You look like me a wee bit.
You look good there. That's the best I've seen you.
Aye, the ones I used to just keep.
Was that highlights?
That must have been
No,
a pre-season one.
That was pre-season.
That's the worst I've seen you.
No, but do you know what I used to do before I knew about hairstyle? I used to just have my hair the exact same length all the way around.
That's like
four all over on that.
that's like somebody it's like recovery pictures, isn't it?
Before and after.
Cold turkey.
Before and after. 6 months.
How's that hair doing, mate?
January the 1st
Who's you look like
day.
you?
That needs to go pride of place in here, doesn't it? Oh, by the way, one good thing that came for the weekend, Paul Slane's back. He was on the bench.
Oh, I know.
I was on the bench, aye.
And he was the manager.
How did you feel?
As a manager, zero. I went home on Saturday and I said to myself, I need to look myself in the mirror. Not done it for years, but I've not done that for years. I told myself you can't do that, look in the mirror, but I need to get back to it now and look.
Did you do that?
So I need to, because it's time to stand up. And
Go on then. Stand up while you're saying it.
So, but that goes for everybody, because I think when the mindset going in is kind of getting about the boys and what does that mean? You're there, you're a man, you're there to work. So
Good lad. Lynn was talking to Lynn through the year. She was saying that she was doing the big shop at Lidl on Tuesday night or Wednesday night, I think it was. She saw somebody coming up the retail park in a pair of Puma Kings that looked like you. Looking very white.
You were at the game.
What game?
The game that he played.
Did you?
The bounce game.
The bounce game,
How
aye.
do you think he done?
Well, we gave him a lift, didn't we? And he was only supposed to be playing the first half, and we've came off at half time. He's came off, he's obviously about to get a drink or something. Watched the second half of the bounce game, came back in, was like, where the fuck's Slaney? Just went up the road.
Up
I was
the
at
retail,
Aldi.
we up the retail park.
I felt it was going to white everywhere. I did white everywhere. I felt so dizzy, needed to get sugar in me. Walking about fucking, baby, I would take that.
Dylan McInnes.
That's a must.
I would take it.
Live in a podcast, mate.
No,
He's come to you. Has Dale McInnes come to you for players?
Aye.
Come on,
No, but I thought you done well. I thought you done
His
well.
work rate was good, mate, because you had a hard task of following the fullback.
Well, I said
back
to the
pitch.
wee, I said to the wee left back every 5 minutes before the game, I was like, listen, me man, fucking don't stop me, mate. Keep going, get the manager's eye. Just keep going, keep going. Honestly, 10 minutes into the game, I was like, listen, me man, fucking rat back. Just stay where you are, mate. He's good, isn't he?
Yeah, aye, it's good.
Was there any positive moments on the board? Was it all just hard work?
Well, he played in the first half where the other team was supposed to play like the opposition, which he's never really got on the ball, did he, at all?
No.
But by the way,
was he wanting it though? Was he wanting the ball? Did you see for this? I never really heard them.
No. See, second half when it switched and they were supposed to pull at the opposing team, did they fuck? Did they? Honestly, I felt so sorry for the other team to get an absolute doing.
But anyway, you're close to being back.
Close to being back.
Well, the plan was if we were running for you to come on for the last 15 minutes.
Aye, but I think now, that would be the next sort of thing, making some appearances the last 10, 15 minutes, build it up that way and then eventually start.
Was there no an opportunity Saturday for him to come on? I know you're 1-0 down with.
No, I wanted to try and win the game, mate. So there was no opportunity for him to come on.
Plus, he's got like 3 injuries during it, didn't he? So,
Mate, the injuries, suspensions. I think we're doing about 12 players for Saturday. So
we'll in the physios playing the weekend.
Tell you what, I'm getting the bits ready, just in case.
right, back to Hibs Rangers. The quite a lot of refereeing decisions. Just before we start, what were you and we were up to the night before?
You just went back to school, didn't you?
Oh, that's what it is.
Just started primary school, so you might see if you know other places. You shouldn't be doing a game like that, no fucking way.
You wanted to wear his school mag in the game, didn't you?
He needs to black shoes and all, but
You
listen.
wanted to keep his cards in a, what was the pencil case shaped like? A banana, you said?
See, before we got into the refereeing decisions, right? I seen a stat the other day. Rangers haven't scored in the opening 30 minutes of a game for the last 10 games.
And why do you think that is? Because they start slow,
aye.
And what do they, so how do
that's-
Rangers start games? Is it keeping the
But do
ball?
you
Is
remember? I don't know if you remember, Stephen. Just before Gerrard left, Rangers went something mental, like 5 consecutive games going 1-0 down. And when Van Bronckhorst first came in, it was the biggest thing he changed because Rangers were starting games fast, high tempo, scoring early. After that, see when the old firm score early against teams, it's so hard to come back into the game because their game plan's out the window after 10, 15 minutes. But Rangers just looked so lethargic coming out come at the blocks. And
I've not seen a lot.
Look at Celtic, Kilmarnock score within 3 minutes. Obviously against us yesterday, 13 minutes. I think against Aberdeen, what, 3 minutes as well. So hard for teams to then.
So see, I've not seen a lot of Rangers this year because they've not been on the telly a lot that I've been able to watch. Are they back to the wingers staying high and wide, or is it the full-backs that are going up to...
The big thing is for me that the wingers are high and wide, but I don't know if it's an instruction for the manager, but I don't see Tav.
That's what I'm saying.
Tav does Tav on the right-hand side, but like the left-hand side, like you mentioned about Borna's an attacking full-back. He's at his best when he's going forward. I don't think he's quite got the licence that he maybe wants, but...
Would you say that Ryan Kent's maybe not got to the levels yet? He started slow. He started very slow, so obviously that's one of your main key players attacking wise. If he's starting slow, maybe it's a knock-on effect across the whole midfield. I don't know.
You look at Tom Lawrence, mate, he scored 3 goals already.
Tillman's looked good. Rangers haven't hit top gear yet, but seeing every game really before the weekend, I think they've still been comfortable. I know they went 1-0 down against Livy, but the only chance of the game, don't really have any other chances after that. They've got full control of the game, but it's just tempo feels a wee bit slow. They're no battering teams with chances left, right and centre. And it's no... I don't think they've hit top gear yet. I still think they've got a wee bit to go.
A wee bit of hangover for the European final maybe?
You can have.
Could that be possible?
You can have.
You know you've played in Europe, do you get that?
You do get it. It's very hard sometimes to...
Yours lasted, what, 10 years?
Still got it now. See what's that wee attack you do? So you can be up there. Do you know what I mean? You can be up there, but sometimes when you don't do it, it's hard to then get yourself going again. So, but listen, it's more on these decisions I want to talk about.
Right, go on then. Are you going to stick up for your wee mate, or are you going to...
He can't.
Well, I think the one...
Right, we'll go first one. Tavernier on...
Well, he's pulling him. The only thing you would say maybe is handling on top of him. So is that...
Have you ever had that where there's 3 on top of each other?
That's my favourite. I wouldn't mind that at all. But listen, especially on that one, I don't know if you need to... I think Tavernier pulls him first before Hanlon gets the contact. So if you're going to do that, that's a penalty.
Rocky on Kolach.
I feel that in the laws of the game, it's a penalty.
Why is his hands on him?
Why has he put his hands there? Because at the end of the day, the ball that's been played through for Kolach is too long anyway. It's gone straight to the goalkeeper. So why feel the need? It's just a reaction, and the reaction is, to be fair, it's probably the one decision the wee man got right.
It is soft. It is soft.
It's soft, but in the laws of the game, it's a penalty.
Can't put your hands on people.
And what is he doing?
Why
are you doing that? Aye. I would have even gone mental for that, but...
And then Rangers penalty, done Rangers penalty, 2 red cards, Lundstrom's
see that Lundstrom, it makes no sense because the boy
Doyle Hayes
does the exact same thing. Probably worse because...
It's well worse.
So
Mrs. Doyle and Johnny Hayes' son.
Aye.
Mrs. Doyle for fan.
But I don't understand it. Surely if it's in your head, that's a yellow card, that's a red card, then it happens the next time it happens.
I think it's a reaction for Boyle and the Hibs players. Right. I think that's why he sends him off.
He doesn't like that.
I think when you look at the Hibs boy, what was it, Doyle Hayes? That does the tackle on Lundstrom in the first half. Lundstrom gets up, gets on with it. Rangers players don't obviously react by crowding Willie Colm or that, but I, in my opinion, I think he reacts to the way the Hibs players react to Lundstrom tackle, because he can't look at that tackle and think it's a red card, can he? So the only thing I can then think is he's bought into the reaction for that.
But surely Willie's had enough reactions like that he's...
But it's like you said, he can't look at that tackle and think that's a red card.
He's been refereeing football too long not to understand that that's not a red card. Oh, like, even the thing is, when Lundstrom's tackling, he's just curled his toe up just to clip him.
He's Craigan his toe.
He's just done a Stevie Craigan curl his toe.
Maybe he's red carded him for acting like Craigan.
See that there, right? That's probably one of the worst decisions I've ever seen in football, like for a straight red card.
It's a shocker.
It's a fucking shocker. Like,
Morelos is a red card.
Morelos is because he's given... He's swung the arm first and then he swung it again, and then there's the wee kick out at the end. Whether they're mint or no mint, you can clearly see that that's in Morelos' mind, that he's tried to do something, and the laws of the game, you can't raise your hands up, and it is a red card. But it's just frustrating because I don't even think Willie Collum was the worst referee of the weekend. That's the worst thing about it.
They
were fucking all bad. They were really bad. And we brought VAR into Scottish football, and for whatever reason, it's taken fucking forever to get started.
What, is it in?
No, they've doing the setting up, and it'll start. They're talking about starting it in
after the World Cup.
After the World Cup. Why is it? Why is they agreed last year that it was going to happen? So why is it taking so long? And you know the worst thing about it is, see when VAR does get up and running, we'll still fucking make an arse of it.
I think.
Absolutely. 'Cause we've got,
VAR is still making an arse.
I know, because that's the best referee in Scotland, allegedly. And he's making a fucking arse off the game Saturday.
I think he got added to the stag do chat a couple of days before it.
Mate,
and
he's not
Keevan's
coming to
kept saying I'm
stag
blowing
do.
my whistle, bitch. So I think that's why he's
Didn't he see that?
He's not coming to stag
He was
do.
at the game watching, wasn't he?
Keevan just keeps putting that song up, didn't he? Blow my whistle,
He's
bitch.
the likeness on that chat, isn't he?
We've not seen anywhere of Bobby Madden actually.
He's on the chat now.
He's on the
Seen
chat.
plenty.
I know.
We've seen plenty of.
But see, as much as I'm saying that Rangers obviously have they been at their best. If that decision doesn't happen, you still fancy them to go on and win the game. So
Lunchroom stays apart. 10 men, Rangers see that game out. Obviously, the equaliser is a wonder strike for Josh Campbell. A great finish.
Great finish.
And you can't take that away from him. But with 10 men, I think Rangers see that. 9 men, it becomes difficult. Like you say, if you keep 10 on the park, then you probably can afford to have somebody stay further up the park. But it's a really, really poor decision that, listen, it's early on the season and there's a lot of points to be dropped. But will that be a point in the season you look back and think,
I always stick up for refs, I know. Always, but remember the one night he fucking gave me it stinking.
What was
You were
that?
there, remember? At the game, I was refing at the side and you were joining in.
Oh, right,
Remember that?
Right, it's tough as a ref, isn't it?
true,
Right, it's
aye.
tough.
That was fucking, see when somebody's on you, mate, your head goes.
But they get paid to get
That's your
good
job.
money to do, it's your job. Well, Van Bronckhorst lose patience with Morelos. Seems like the relationship's not great just now.
You heard that?
I can't imagine he's a great sub. He seems like the type that wants to play
I know.
every week.
I've predicted him to start the last 3 or 4 games to be fair, but I feel as if he's been back training for a while now. Obviously, I thought that was an opportunity, especially straight after Europe, for him to come in and start the game. So I was surprised that he didn't. But that's with focusing the back of Morelos with doing stuff like that. He's disappointed. The record's been excellent over the last couple of years after having a season where he gets sent off 18 times or something like that. But that's just petulance, innit? It's just stupid. You're already doing it to 10 men, your backs are against the wall, and you just give the referee a decision to make by just flinging your arm like that. So it's disappointing. I don't want to try and stick up for him, but you hopefully try and give him the benefit of the doubt because he has showed improvement over the last couple of years, but I don't think there's any doubt that he let Rangers down.
As part of this coming back, the fact that he's not playing. You
Maybe.
can see
Maybe.
he seems like that type that gets frustrated when he's not playing.
He'll want to play, and I think that's just pure frustrations. Stupidity, but you don't know the relationship, right? So we can't comment, but if there's a bit of tension there, then 2 strong characters.
Yeah.
Morelos a huffy fucker, and
He looks like the type that needs to play every week as well to get himself in proper mix, doesn't he?
But the thing is, the big guy Cole actually come in and scored 3 at the
Scored,
last
but
4.
Morelos gives you much more, I think, than him.
You think so, Paul?
I think so.
In terms of work rate, we're running the channels.
I think the 2 of them could
being
play
a
up front
nuisance.
together, to be honest.
Aye.
Would you play go to it?
I think I could play 2 of them up front, no ball. I think
Well,
he
a
gives you...
3-5-2, maybe he's played it a couple of times last
I think
season, didn't he?
the big guy, he's not a target man, but he's a big physical presence up there, and I think that balls come at the box, he's got to be a threat, and that might just free up Morelos in around the box and the ground. I think that is an option, but Morelos obviously, this will sort itself out. He'll get himself fit, he'll get himself back in the team, and everything will be hunky dory. But at the minute in time, he's
Will he get himself back in the team's okay back it?
Well, at the minute, it doesn't look like it. Sorry,
Misses the
because
next 3 now, doesn't he?
He misses 3.
He misses the Old Firm game as well.
Does he?
Did I know they don't miss the Old Firm? I read that somewhere. They don't miss the
I
Old
thought it
Firm.
was a 3-game ban for.
Good to get
Was
that
it
up to
for
see.
conduct, innit?
No, I don't think
Two
they
man's
do.
right.
I don't think they do. There's some reason why
Where
they
did you?
don't.
What rag did you read that in?
It wasn't a rag. It was
Haley's
like
book. That was in Haley's book. You were reading that, wasn't it?
I think maybe Keith even said it on the radio.
PSV obviously Champions League qualifier. What did you make of the home game 2-2?
I thought Rangers were good first half.
Second half, PSV were better, weren't they?
PSV were really good second half, aye.
Right.
No, I'm just saying, he said it in what earlier, so it's fine.
No, they were. There was I tell you what, they've got some good players.
Aye.
See that boy that man you're linked with, that Gakpo, he is a
Brilliant.
very good player. But I thought Rangers were good. I thought they started the game a wee bit slow in terms of the first 5-10 minutes, but I thought after that they were really good, especially after PSV scored. Thought Rangers were excellent after that, numerous chances. Same players again impressed for me. Well, I say same players, the other one was Davis again, because after the weekend, and Davis,
Class act.
just superb, just so much composure. Does a lot of work that goes underrated and under the radar, but I do think Rangers have got their work cut out in the second leg because they look very, very good.
Who would you play,
Rangers have
Andy?
surprised so many people in Europe over the last 2-3 seasons, especially with some of the results they've got, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go there and get a result, but
What's your
they do
team?
look a very,
Aye, what's
very
the
good
team?
What's your team?
Scobie.
Get your manager's heat on.
See,
Kent, Tillman, Lawrence, Davis, Lundstrom, Barisic, Goldson, Sands, Tavernier.
Sands, we play Sands. And
I think he's been the best at the centre half.
what about in terms of like set pieces and free kicks against? They need to be a bit more height in the team.
Well, obviously that's another 2 set pieces that we conceded, but Sands wasn't really
at fault.
It wasn't really at fault. It wasn't his man or close to him for any of them. But I think the big one for me is you just know how I feel about Morelos, and especially in these European games. I think that's where you get the best of him. Do I think he should play this one? Maybe no, because he's not played the last few and he's maybe not his full fitness. That's why I thought games like the weekend was a good opportunity for him to get legs in. But you've probably got to start Charlotte for it as well.
That's what I would be worried about Van Bronckhorst, where the Hibs game was an opportunity to start Morelos and get some fitness, because obviously if you're favouring Kolac's over him, surely you're keeping Kolac's ready for the PSV game, so why no start Morelos?
Morelos, yeah. Everything made sense for Morelos to start.
He hasn't started Morelos, so does is there something in there that maybe...
Well, then he's then coming on to get 30 minutes into the tank the last fucking 5 before he elbows somebody in the head, so...
But no, Rangers, listen, we said last week that if Rangers would give themselves an opportunity in the second leg, well, they've got that opportunity, they're going there all square.
Still in the tie.
Still in the counter?
I think what Andy pointed out defensively in terms of set plays, to lose 2 goals at home the way they did from corners, and then the 2 set pieces on Saturday, not set pieces Saturday, but obviously the 2 ones at home, that you need to tighten that up a wee bit.
McGregor's got
to play.
He commands that box,
set
doesn't he?
I know.
He's putting demands on the defenders, your man doesn't score.
He's got to play, 100%.
It's an ongoing debate, isn't it? To me, I think he should play. Obviously, maybe I've got a bit of bias because he's my mate, but
John McLaughlin's good.
He is a good goalie.
There's no denying it. But what has Alan McGregor done to be dropped to number 2 when he was like? What has he done?
Yeah, that's a good
What's he done?
Brilliant point.
What's he done to be dropped to number 2? Because in the space of 3-4 months of 3 months from the season end, he
had a couple of mistakes domestically last year. Don't get me wrong, but in Europe he still made some unbelievable saves and unbelievable performances. I think any time McLaughlin got the jersey last year, he done well as well. But for me, I've said that a few times. I would still like see Griggs as number 1.
Right, how do you think second leg goes? What we're saying?
I can listen. I don't take any glory in this or any, but I think PSV beat
any glory in it?
No, it's not the word. I don't take any vindication. Is it?
Aye.
Is that right?
I think after the...
You know what? I know.
That's not the right word.
I fucking is.
We'll know during the...
I take pleasure in this.
And I certainly don't.
What do you take pleasure?
Well, when I was there, I certainly 10 years ago. But that's what I'm saying, Andy. You're not overly too sure about.
Could you concentrate on playing? See, if you were playing in Eindhoven, could you concentrate on what was so close there?
No, I couldn't. I really couldn't be concentrating on the game.
Could you still smell it?
You could smell it there. Without a doubt, the players will watch their faces during the game. You'll certainly see it in their eyes. But I think just go on with it. I think you've got to start KJ. You can't go in there full.
Start KJ?
Start KJ when you go in the pitch, of course. You can't go in there and blow on the first 10 minutes. Go to be KJ, be a bit timid, see what's going on.
I think the fact that away goal rules changed, I think that's gave Rangers a big favour, because if we're going over there with PSV having 2 away goals, it's a big ask. But I think it'll go to extra time. I think Rangers will do it.
What about when every time Rocky makes a mistake, Hugh Keevins dresses up as wee Mickey on the chat?
All the time.
Wee Mickey, Rocky's trainer.
Rocky, didn't he?
Who?
Old Mickey. Do you know Rocky's trainer in the films?
Oh, aye.
Keevins dresses up as him.
That's a shite part of it. It is, honestly.
What is it he does with the boxing glove?
He's a forcing pure shite part of it.
Andy, I listen to these days.
Keevins ever watch us?
No, I doubt it.
We need to get him on, didn't we?
We need to get the wee man.
That wee vesty verse.
I definitely wouldn't get him on either. I don't think that would be great. But
spits in the bucket, didn't he?
Gordon Dale would be alright on.
Think
Aye.
Dazzler?
I think it does.
Well, that's Uncle Polly, didn't he?
Who's Uncle Polly?
Uncle Polly for Sopranos.
Rocky. Guy shakes his sister all the time.
Oh, fuck.
He's got a big snout.
Polly and
he's great. Gordon Dale, I coached him. Said it in another podcast. Did you watch it?
No.
Did you?
I coached with Gordon Dale.
That was a good story, that one.
It was cracking, wasn't it?
That's a good story, aye.
He used to coach, but when I turned up, he used to always say to me, Slaney boy, you'll be made eh? And then he would say, well, we're doing it in Milan or Real Madrid drill. But the kids were hopeless. No, the kids were just dirty, whatever.
Yeah.
So he used to say that. I've told that story, I don't want to do it again.
Oh, no,
he started doing
it. So he used to say at Real Madrid in Milan drill. So
he was in the wee podcast, quite a lot of people that watch it.
No, people are watching it. People are watching it. So he said that, but what he used to do, so he set up this Real Madrid in Milan drill with 16, but nobody knew what was fucking going on. So he would just, your eyes just rolled there as if you're bored there.
No.
So halfway through the thing, he'd be like, right, Slaney, you take care. And he just walked in and left me with the drill.
But you don't know what's
Didn't know what the fuck's happening. And nobody else did. But we'll get him on. He actually spoke really nice about me. I came on, my first ever podcast, I came on.
And he was on after it, wasn't he?
He was on after it and he really spoke really nicely to me.
What did he say about
When we see a lovely boy and maybe a bit misunderstood, misread, so gave him the chance and then obviously took the chance and done really well.
Took a chance, alright.
Yes.
Right, there we go, Celtic v Hearts. Just kind of get away from that story as quickly as possible.
I nearly said that was the worst story ever.
Andy, what's your thoughts looking back on the game?
The new podcast.
I Celtic deserved to win the game. I thought first half, obviously we tried to stay in it and frustrate them as much as we can, hit them on the counter. I think we had a couple of good opportunities on the counter with Tess and Joe Hart, just that sort of final moment. But listen, we went to Celtic Park, made 7 changes and competed really well for the majority of the game. I don't think many teams in the league could do that. So I think we've showed ourselves up well as well. I thought second half, I thought we were a good second half.
You were impressed by a wee bit higher now.
Obviously a 1-0 down, you want to go and try and get something at the game. I think that for the first sort of 20-25 minutes, I thought we had long spells where we looked as if we were going to cause them problems, but again, with it, troubling Joe Hart, I just thought that sort of last wee moment sort of let us down.
You played well, mate. I thought you done well.
Cheers. That is first game in 6 weeks. But that's the thing. Made 7 or 8 changes. If you don't play the game in 6 weeks, one of the hardest fixtures to come into is Celtic Park. So it was always going to be difficult for us. But I thought a lot of boys done really well that have not played.
See playing against it. Obviously, I watched when we'd been like brilliant. Was there anybody for Celtic really stood out playing against?
I'd say Carter Vickers.
He was unbelievable again.
Because like I said, I'm being honest enough to say Celtic deserved to win. They obviously had quite a few chances, and we had probably, I'd say, 6 or 7 moments in the game where we thought, like, we looked as if we were in. Every one, it's he's there to sniff it out. Whether it's somebody whipping it wide, he's the one that's clearing it if you get a ball in behind, because Gino's rapid, mate. It was quick. It's the reason he played up there, because if you hit him in the counter, you put it into space, that you fancy him to beat anyone for pace, but he's rapid as well. And it seems as if he's always in the right moment at the right time. And see, another thing I used to say, Christoph Ayer used to do it really well for Celtic. He steps into play, so you're trying to show Celtic down one side, make it compact. He just steps through the midfield, and then it then leads to either me or Pete having to jump out a slot and leave somebody, and he picks a pass. So for me, he was probably the
Big Jens looks decent as well.
Was good as well.
The two centre halves of Celtic, I think that's the difference this year. I think any strikers that come against them two will find it difficult. I think Jens, he's like a more aggressive version of Julian, but a far better ball player than Starfelt. You see that he's going to get goals for corners.
Is he good on the ball?
Aye.
He's decent on the ball.
He is, aye. Carter Vickers, like Andy says, when he steps in, he doesn't look the biggest or the quickest, but he certainly has got that pace to step in, but he just looks like an old-fashioned centre-half where, like, determined for nothing to get by him. But Celtic were very, very good first half, moved the ball really, really quick, and then you've got guys like Maida, Kyogo and Jota going in behind as quick as they do. It's difficult, but second half Hearts, I thought Hearts were decent. Like you say, Simon, they pressed higher up, which allowed them to get the ball back quicker. There's a couple of opportunities where maybe a better pass, they might have got an opportunity to score, but you like Simon says, I thought you did play well, Andy. I wouldn't say it here because you're sitting here, but I thought you did play.
See what Kev said there. I was going to mention that next as well. People underestimate how much Celtic running behind and how difficult that is when you're a team that's trying to stay compact and keep the lines tight because they try and play through. See when just Dyson Maida's running behind all the time, Kyogo's running behind
right on the last line,
where Kyogo comes in then already runs in behind. It's so hard to mark and sort of keep into the spaces.
I seen you saying to Mackay Stevens first half one.
Don't switch.
You went and you
see if you switch, like
you're fucked.
You're fucked.
What do you mean when that's what he said?
So just stay in your area.
No,
he went with O'Reilly and he tried to go with Juranovic, mate, and Juranovic has got the ball.
So see when we see it all the time when they do the sort of rotation when the fullbacks come inside and they create that wee box, because GMS thinks that Juranovic is his man, he follows him all the way in, but see as soon as he follows him in, O'Reilly just goes to the touchline. So they've got that simple pass. So I'm just saying sort of stay in your slot, don't let them play through. But I think in credit to us, I think it's probably I'm saying poorest. Celtic were still good, but I don't think Celtic were great compared to the Kelly game, the Ross County, the Aberdeen game. So I do think that a lot of that was down to
I would say that's the third time probably usually played Celtic at Parkhead, and the games have been very similar, where Celtic have dominated the first half and usually come out better in the second half. But that's more down to the fact that Celtic start so well. Yeah. It's hard for Hearts or any other team to get into the game.
They just pen you in, don't they?
Because they pen you in and they don't allow you. And then second half, Hearts started better and Celtic were penned in a wee bit, but ultimately...
They pen you in, right, but it's like, see when the ball goes out for a throw-in, the ball boys already throw it in there, something like the taker, and they just throw it back into the pitch before you even get set.
So you can't get a
goal kicks are done within 3 seconds, so it's just the ball's constantly in play. You don't really have time to settle.
What did you think though, seriously, when Robin Nelson said you're starting? I'd have hated that if they'd been 6 weeks out.
No,
do you know what I mean? But they've got to set part of the last in it. Oof.
I know.
You're alright for it?
He's got a good mentality to
it. Good, mate.
Seen your dad was at a game, because I seen I thought it was a brown flare going off at first, but I think he just opened his bag.
Big George.
Has George been going to games?
No.
Staying away?
He's had enough of it now.
Has he
been
now?
to any of the Broomhill games?
No.
Not once?
Just in the boozer all the time.
What about your mum?
No, she's not been yet.
But how fitting that Mead has set up to go with a tackle.
He's brilliant. I love him. Honestly, I love him. I think, as I said in the past with Celtic, you need both parts, but he just gives you something. I think if you're an opposition player, you would absolutely...
Mate, he pressed me in the first half.
You're screaming,
Celtic, we had a corner, Celtic cleared it, and I swear to God, right, I looked over my shoulder and he was about 60 yards away. The ball bounced, and see by the time the ball bounced, mate, he tackled me.
Taking off, yeah.
I was like, where's he came from?
He must be a nightmare.
Scared in the back, he didn't even say that.
Stupid.
He's having an assist every 74 minutes.
Wow.
That's decent.
And it's all through, it's all through.
And it's the same assist, mate. It's the same assist every time.
Right across.
Running in behind.
Early crosses all the time.
The ball gets played to him and he just
It's like you
crosses
say,
it across the box.
with hard work and work rate. If you looked at that game yesterday, Leeds and Chelsea, Leeds ran 11 kilometres more than Chelsea.
It's not rocket science, is it?
It's not fucking rocket science.
We ran less than we've ever run on Saturday.
That's why he's get beat. Simple thing, Simon.
You're getting put up on
work hard
how
and
did
earn
you
the
run?
right.
I never had a heart rate monitor and I wish I did. I've not got one.
That'd been a good comparison, wouldn't it?
No, move all the time. Move in relation to the ball.
You would have been
That's a B licence classic, that, mate.
What was it?
Moving in relation to the ball.
I never got that on my B licence. I done my B licence about 12 years ago, mate. That wasn't on it. Is that what they're talking about?
All the time.
This is one of the most special weeks in world football with the Champions League draw.
Right.
Amazing, innit?
Who are you hoping for?
Paul?
I remember when I was at Celtic and Lenny brought all the team into the
Canteen.
Were you there?
No, I wasn't there when
Yeah,
you
he
were
brought
there.
them into the
I was there when it was Larson and that.
I was there with fucking Van Dijk, that's what they bother me. So that, he brought everybody.
So how did that team get in the Champions League? He's ever qualified for last 16 now.
No, but fucking very close. By the way, beat Barca.
Hey.
They just qualify, aye?
I never qualified, but the first team did it.
Stracking's team.
Stracking's team. Were you there, wee man?
Larson wasn't there at that team.
No.
What team was that? What team was that, by the way?
Roy Keane that came at that time, so... just you got me a wee story about the canteen.
So, no, let's... Wee story about the canteen. No, so like Lennon brought everybody up, and the cameras not were there, and we were watching it live, the draw was coming in. I hated it. I just thought it was dead. Celtic should never be in that mentality of that. Sitting watching the draw, all excited to be go. I never ever said it. No, I was cheering when we go.
Why no though?
I
think it's good that everyone just watches the draw together though, I think.
No, it was just when the cameras came in, I was like, it just felt like, I think it was Barcelona we got. No, I'm saying we got, I was just sitting there having my lunch, but I remember when we...
What were you in?
Spaghetti hoops, man. Spaghetti hoops. Spaghetti hoops and smiley potato faces.
There's no point in trying a story, there's no point.
No, go on, tell it.
Okay,
This better be good.
No,
this is a belter, that story. Told me this before. The story punchline of this is unbelievable.
The story's done. I would just say, before, in the morning of that, everybody came in and said, listen, after training today, came up to the canteen, everybody were doing the live Champions League draw, everybody sat in, we were all watching it on the big screen, and when it came in, like, I don't know how many people were cheering up, the cameras were there, and I thought, that's like...
let's move on, because this is boring. Who do you want to draw?
Tell the Gordon Dale story again.
This is a shocker. Right, so anyway, for this week, I hope Celtic don't get Barca.
Why?
Because we've grew up and we've had Barcelona so many fucking years. But
different Barca, so a wee chance of beating them now.
Who would you like?
No, I would love to see getting Real Madrid, obviously champions. That would be an unbelievable experience. But then I'd love one massive club like that. But I still think I would like then
Ajax.
And then maybe like hopefully teams that I'm not saying
you fancy to beat.
Just to get at home and give yourself a wee chance of maybe getting that second place. It'd be very hard, obviously.
What pot is Celtic in?
3, I think.
Is it 3? That's not too bad then.
4, I think.
4. No, that nah.
So,
Pot four's a disaster though in the Champions League.
Because you could potentially have two massive teams and then an even fucking just as
Even
massive.
Pot three, there's big teams in pot three.
Did you ever have that when you were at a club or anything, done draws or anything?
Aye, we used to. Well, at Hearts last week, we
you
watched the
have
draw
that?
together.
League One, what was that, Effie?
We watched it in the
The
Champions
FA
last
Vaz,
week.
the FA Vaz. The Joyce to sit around for the FA Vaz. The Joyce
Johnston
to
Pete
block
trophy,
it twice, get shit
Papa
away.
John's Pizza Cup.
So anyway, we'll talk about Europe.
The Johnson's nice.
We were the same as you, mate. Watched it in the canteen, aye. And then Hearts a couple of weeks ago, watched it in the dressing room.
I see. Did anybody ever cheer when you get a team?
No.
Never really
Well, you know,
actually.
the Rangers, I'm
to
not
be
trying to
honest-
bring this up, but you know what Rangers when you cheered Celtic?
Do
In the dressing room, remember?
you remember what year it was?
What year was it? Warburton? Marty, your mate Marty was in the manager.
I must have been then, aye.
Do you remember it now?
I don't, to be honest, but what's wrong with that?
No, but I'm just saying we're talking about that topic.
Aye, but
Getting a draw and cheering.
I think if you're Rangers and Celtic, I think your best opportunity to get them is early on in the rounds as well, because let's face it, you fancy yourself, if you beat them, you fancy yourself to go and win the cup. But to be honest, I'm not even just sitting on the fence, I don't remember it, so I'm not sure if I was there or not.
But I just don't think...
Aye, quite right.
But it was after a game, innit? So you won that round and then the draw got made straight after a game? We just sitting watching it in the dressing room?
I genuinely don't remember, but it would. I'd imagine it would have been. Was it on the telly? You said?
I think it was on the telly, wasn't it?
It would have been after the game then.
Yeah.
But it's just, I mean, I think growing up, anybody at home Celtic fans their chances. If you Man U, AC Milan, it was amazing. But now I think if you bring your big clubs, you could get on to high.
When was the last time Rangers Celtic played Real Madrid as well? It must have been like the 80s or something, 70s
No, they've
maybe.
not played them at all, have they?
So that would be a good one.
What would the Aries, who would you like to see the Aries? Who would you like to take them to see at Celtic Park?
Who?
Larry, Barry, Gary, Harry.
I actually had that conversation yesterday.
Oh.
I says, Champions League, Harry, what do you think? He says, PSG would be good, they'd Messi, Neymar,
That would be good.
Aye. PSG would be
But they
class.
came.
They've been there recently as well, man, in Celtic Park.
They beat Celtic 6 or 7 earlier.
Yeah.
They won the Champions League.
Who's some of the best
They won
teams you've seen
7
coming to play Champions League?
Well, I was at the other
Villarreal,
night, they played
Raquelme, Cazorla.
Juventus with Del Piero, 4-3.
4-3, Sutton scored the volley. I was at it.
What a
Brilliant.
game that
What
was.
a game that was.
AC Milan.
Yeah, I think Aiden played Colaccini that day, didn't he?
Aye. Who else? There was...
Scored him in the hole.
Remember Man U with Rooney and all that?
That was good.
Zaha
It was Nakamura's free kick, wasn't it?
Aye.
I was going to say that to you, but see, when we done the European tours for the actual group stages, we probably didn't see us. We never got a really big side in any of them.
What about you two? Did you like Rangers played Man U, didn't they?
Aye, well, no. What was
Did they
it?
not beat them? Beat Man U? No, Phil Neville got a penalty or something.
Oh, right, aye.
I mean, as a fan,
1-0 at Ibrox, 0-0 at Old Trafford. Best team I seen was, I don't know about best team actually, but best players I seen was Raquelme. Rangers drew 2 each with Villarreal at Ibrox, and Raquelme was unbelievable.
Is that the Argentinian Raquelme?
Unbelievable.
Him and Cazorla middle of the pitch, man.
Benzema scored a hat-trick when Leon beat
remember
Rangers
that.
3-0 at
Did he?
Ibrox.
The,
He went to
Played
Real
against
Madrid
him,
that
man, there.
who they kill me?
Benzema.
No, have you played against Benzema?
Hey, right, what's next?
When was that? Was that the World Cup, the night under 19?
Yes, didn't
Was he, did he play for France then?
We beat France. Nasri and Benzema was a front two.
Fucking hell, Jamie never mentioned that.
Jamie was good that day. He played centre half up against Benzema.
Fucking hell, Jamie's never mentioned
Mad
that, but that's
farmer,
because he's that fucking humble and laid
But
back.
I didn't know. But I think with Celtic, or if Rangers qualify, I think you're going to get top teams. But
You're playing the elite and you're not going to get someone that's dogging
Listen, what, if
I
you're a
think we need to be
Celtic
careful
fan,
though, Celtic Rangers.
if you're a Celtic fan or Rangers fan, if you get through the Champions League, what are you looking for? You're looking to think you're going to progress. You're not really going to progress because it's it's a big ask.
I think they could, mate.
I think Celtic could progress.
I think they could, but let's face it, they need to be lucky with the draw.
Yeah.
There's no
Maybe
doubt
look at the
about
draw,
it.
the fact that your third pot team needs to be beatable as well, because obviously you don't want to drop out of Champions League and then miss out on Europa League. You want to drop into Europa League and give yourself that opportunity. But
Does it make it harder for Celtic with the way they play now to progress in Europe? Because you think at any Celtic side in the past who have done well, they've
I'm
sat
getting
in,
the box out. I'm getting the box out. I need to see who's in these spots.
they've relied on kind of set pieces, staying in the game.
I
Whereas
think
the way Celtic play now, you need to dominate games. Is that
but
too hard to get with the gap? With the
you watch many Champions League nights. See when Celtic get the atmosphere behind them, they can dominate games at Parkhead.
But it's very much get the ball quite forward. Well, in the past, it's been get the ball forward quite quick.
But in the forward, they've had like goal scorers where they've got pace this time.
Frankfurt's
Like
Pot 1.
Kyogo Maeda.
Yeah.
So you never know. Jota's got that wee bit.
I just think to now, Kev, with the top managers and the top players, if you're going to play it for the back, they're ready to come and press
it. It will be difficult.
Yeah.
It will definitely be difficult trying to play at the back. But
Don't
how do
used
you
to
get
worry
from
about
back to front against a fucking PSG at home?
Yeah.
Don't used to worry
It'll be
about it.
interesting to see what
Trips,
it
I'm
will
not
be.
being funny, right? So pot 1, the best case scenario, Frankfurt. You get Frankfurt in pot 1.
Or Porto.
But then you've got Real, Man City, AC, Bayern, PSG, Porto and Ajax.
Beat them
But
easy.
your pot 2, mate. Liverpool, Chelsea, Barca, Juve, Atletico Madrid, Seville, Leipzig and Tottenham. That's
Tough.
Seville.
best case scenario, Seville, Leipzig.
Nah, you say Leipzig, wouldn't you?
Still, you
Werner
would, but
does not want to score.
compared to,
He'll
compared
do
to
everything
the
not to
rest of them,
score.
That's tough. Mate, but what I'm saying is you look at your pot 3 teams. I know Celtic are in pot 3, but it doesn't matter. Dortmund's in there, Salzburg, Inter Milan, Napoli,
That's it, pot
Sporting,
3.
Bayer Leverkusen, Marseille, Shakhtar Donetsk and Club Brugge.
Wow.
So still some big teams
It's
in
going to be
pot 3.
amazing though, and that's what you want to be in the Champions
Of
for
course
these
it is.
big games. And then
Their nights are the best, aren't they?
Ah,
As a
see
fan,
that
when he
theme
shakes-
tune, mate.
See when you shake that, the thing?
Theme tune sensational.
Like that?
Aye.
I love that. Did you ever do that as a young kid?
I did it at Ball Boy Champions League. Brilliant, mate.
That's
Loved
class,
it.
isn't it?
Really good.
No, I'd love to take the boys to one of the games, hopefully.
He'll get you tickets.
Paul, hi.
I'll sort you out, man.
Yeah, cheers, Paul.
What's happened with James? You never got in again?
I don't know what's the deal with it. Like, is it a 3-year deal and he's not put him in it?
3-year deal, but
He's better than him anyway, Jordan.
flying
I've
in.
always said, mate, that's my
Celtic-
dream 3-year deal. Get sit with the big jacket on.
Celtic's handed out some
That's the
dodgy
dream,
deals,
mate.
isn't
Second
it?
on.
James McCarthy was one for
I think he's saying he just needs a cat lift training.
All he needs is just to get going. He just needs a couple of games.
But James will become. I think
there's so
they'll
much
keep
fun.
Jamesy ready for the Champions League, I think. No, seriously, you can laugh all you want, but I can't get that Gordon Dale story out my head.
Do you think
You'll ask that to be taken out, that's the thing.
No.
do you think they could disguise wee Alan in the Celtic strip, maybe get away with him playing?
We Alan, second half he came in.
Uh-huh,
that wee
is
bit,
Is he now the main Forest?
No.
Yes, he's on the top bunk. Wee James is on the bottom bunk.
No.
The man's James used to wash and Alan used to dry. It's the other way about that. What about Andrew's new jumper? Have you seen it?
I like it.
He's changed from the black to the green.
The wee
Same colour as
green,
Hash.
aye.
Have you seen that?
No, it's stunk and all yesterday, that jumper.
It's like a weed.
It's like Livy's pitch, mate. Andrew's jumper.
He suits it though, doesn't he?
An exclusive. We're interviewing him
Oh,
for
why
manager of the year. This
Hey,
week.
coming with you?
What the fuck are you going to talk about?
I think he's going to ask you about your
five times.
podcast. I think he watches it.
Does he?
I think he watches it, mate. So there you go.
Paul, when will your wee podcast get an interview with somebody?
Are you getting
Well,
you
that
said-
won't
you said
happen. I think we're interviewing the junior football manager of the year.
Fucking don't mind
You
it.
said Stephen McLaughlin last week, didn't you?
I know, I think we're getting his under 12s manager for
Come in.
Cabrain.
I'm having a meeting about this today. I'm not having this. But you get fucking lad your Premier League podcast, or no? Right, anyway. Zurich.
What want to?
Aye.
Oh, Zurich, how was it, Andy?
Who's game for the Jambos, innit?
How is it? I just want to know the whole, just make it, no quick, but just skim through it as in you go to the hotel.
What do you mean, make it quick?
Don't make it quick, skim through it. On the aeroplane, not who we sitting beside, we devastated who you sit.
Halks.
That's
Take
all
Halks.
right, mates with him.
Decent.
How did you share with Halks or no?
No GMS. I don't remember, I said last week.
7 o'clock, lights
7
out.
o'clock, lights out, aye, make sure we get to our bed rapid.
What story did you read?
Read my wee bedtime story.
Did you
Oh, it was
That
Haley's
night?
book, wasn't it? Haley's
Haley's
book.
book, aye, he went out
Oh no, it was GMS, it was Spears's column in the Times,
Here's
wasn't
his
it?
call. Should have seen how quickly he went to sleep, mate. Different class.
Did you train that night before on the stadium?
You're
No,
fucking
we never
dinosaurs, Andy. These are dinosaurs. Spears is right.
Oh my God.
Sick of it. How is needing a shite even funny? It's just a bodily function. It's an actual bodily function. How is it even funny? Don't understand it. I don't understand the hits that he's getting.
That's why he's going to Premier League one of that.
That's class, isn't it? That's exactly right, Paul. We wouldn't have that on our show, would we?
No, we trained at Orium in the morning straight there by airport. But no going.
He's definitely got GMS has got one of the pillows in it. Has he?
Puts under the bed, doesn't
He takes travel pills as well, so he's not sick, doesn't he? That's the phone he's mad before he takes off and when he lands.
That's me
That's me, you're
you know.
safely, mum.
I swear to God, as soon as we landed, the only person in the flight was GMS.
Textbook.
What I landed.
That was good.
Was it a private flight?
It was, charter flight,
good time.
Brilliant. Great. Big
Eustace's jig went up to the cockpit, he was in there for the hell. Right, you hanging out his ass.
What a 5 minutes.
He's on fire the last 5 minutes.
I need to make sure I'm really good at this so when I get the sack at the football. So I'm really concentrating on the podcast just now. Football team's there to be back.
As much effort into the fucking team as you do podcast.
Do not, mate. Do not. That's where all my thought was going.
Good result, I think. Going away from home, you can't win the tie, but you can lose it.
I like that. I don't mind that.
Robbie Nielsen said that before the game.
No, he didn't. But we scored against a runner player, I don't think there's any doubt about it. They started well. Good team in possession, to be fair, but there's definitely seen things in there that we can try and exploit going to Tynecastle. 2-1, good result. I think we were actually in the ascendancy the last sort of 20-30 minutes, but that's when probably they looked the most dangerous because they had 2 chances for the counter-attack in the last 5 minutes. If that goes in, obviously the tie's a lot harder going back to Tynecastle, but for me, going there, knowing it's going to be a sellout crowd, knowing what Tynecastle's like in the big nights, I fancy that.
What type of team are they, Andy? What does
possession team put it to the back.
What formation?
Got some good players.
3-5-2.
They have got some good players. Number 10 I thought was the best player over there. The left back was really good, obviously scored the first goal and had a few chances. So they have got some good players. They're a good team. Mate, you don't win the Swiss League by 16 points if you're mugs. I think they only lost, people were telling me they lost so many players. They lost 2 players for the team last year. So they're a good team. Obviously no started their own league great, but seen they are decent. But
I think I'll go up on Thursday.
Are you going to go Thursday?
I would like to go to that.
I'm going to
But the tickets would be hard to get.
I'll do my best for you.
Fancy
We
it?
can.
You're taking training, I'm going to go to the game. Is Cockring, is he suspended?
No, it's just the league.
The league,
Aye.
Big miss Cockring. Was it hard when he got... Was Cockring, was it justified he's sending off? Robbie Nielsen obviously
you can't. Don't go into the tackles when you've got a boot.
Yep.
Can you need to use your head. See, that really is one of my pet hates in football when you're yellow card and you still just shoot pull. You're asking for it.
He didn't pull him though?
No, he didn't.
Actually, I've not seen it back, but I thought it was a deserved second yellow. I thought Toby Sibbick's second yellow was very harsh. I think...
I'm not just saying this and sitting. I left it 5 minutes to go.
But you can look at it on the flip side and say it's intelligent attacking play for Abada. He cuts across him and Toby has his hands on him, but he doesn't push him like that and obviously falls and gets the second booking. But I did think that one was harsh. But for me, at that point, I did think that Alex was
See on these second yellows and red cards that are happening, do you think the referees are scared to make like a footballing decision? So like what's happened there with Sibbick, he's understand, he's got a cross, it's a foul, but don't give him the other card. And obviously Celtic have got to win the game anyway. Nobody's going to complain afterwards to the referees association, why have you not sent him off? Do you know what I mean? There's no.
I don't know if they do though. I don't know if they're getting assessed constantly.
They must be. They must be because everyone seems to be by the book.
It needs to be by the book.
Instead of using good old common sense and say, right, okay, give this guy a wee bit of respect here and say, no, look, that's your last warning anymore. Or somebody pulling him in on Monday and saying, why did you not send him off?
Toby as well made 2 fouls in the game, but for 2 of them. I think Alex had a few. Like where
I know there's stats flying about saying
like a few fouls
that Hearts made 11 fouls and got 2 end up with 6 or 7 bookings, and Celtic had 12 fouls and no bookings. Make what you want of that, but
is that right?
Aye,
I seen that. Robbie Nielsen was saying that. I need to say as well, Big Sherman at the back's good for us. Big Aussie.
Big Kai, really good mate.
He's done well. I liked him.
It's hard for him because he's been playing Australia and kick like they play more direct, didn't they? So coming at.
See when you look at him though, mate.
How do you know that?
Just I've watched him for Australia.
But he's been excellent since he's came in. See when you look at him as well, he's built like that, mate. He's only 6 foot 6'1" maybe. He's not massive, he's not big and strong, but very good defender, positionally excellent. And for me, he's probably been one of the standouts of the players at the start of the season.
Like him. And a big shout out to Cheesy, who's obviously a fan of the show.
Big Cheesy, mate.
Done well, didn't he?
Buzzing for him, done really well.
Oh, and you got a ball on the balls?
No, it was in my stomach, mate. My big
I know, but do you not
fucking
usually
flap.
put it up to your
Aye,
thingy?
tuck it into the waistband. Just in case it
Just cut the
naps.
top it, didn't it?
Aye, I did. It just cut the top.
Good on, Cheesy. Well done, son.
Well done, Cheesy. We're
done
proud
well.
of you, son. Right, we're on to our YouTube questions.
Wow,
so
wow.
this is your part of the show. So
Right,
you
so
wanted
right,
it, so
thank you
take
very
it.
much for the questions on YouTube this week.
Would have liked a wee bit better.
We've
though.
actually scanned over them. We're hoping for better questions next week, but we'll get into them anyway. Question: if Open Goal Broomhill could sign one of these guys in their peak, who are they taking? The question's from the Bosman viewing. And it is Tommy Gravison or Paolo Di Canio, Simon Ferry.
Taking the Canio every day.
Canio.
Half miles better, mate.
The Canio, aye.
You couldn't coach
I think he's
Tommy
been both,
Gravison,
to be
mate.
fair. But
No, I fucking take both for a minute, mate, but no, Tommy Gravison, uncoachable, mate.
Aye.
Couldn't coach him.
No.
You couldn't, man. Nah.
where's Di Canio playing in your
And he
system?
would probably pin you up in front of the boys as well, and then the
Aye,
respect's
true,
gone.
aye.
Di Canio's fucking 10 free roll, mate.
10 free rolls, just
But
let him
mate,
do what he
again,
wants.
people think Di Canio, technical. Never, even when he joined in training, mate, never seen somebody work so hard in my life, mate.
Has he, huh?
Oh my
Brilliant.
God, man. Fucking animal.
could see that, to be fair.
Animal, mate, animal.
He would get the best at his training every day as well, wouldn't he?
The boys would shit themselves with him, I'm telling you, man. And who would you pick?
Aye,
In
the
their,
Canio.
in their peak?
Di Canio.
I'd pick the Canny. You're needing somebody that can do something magical in a game. He's that person. Tommy.
Well, he was meant to be that person.
You've got a good midfield as well, to be fair. I don't even think Tommy Gravison gets in there.
Nah,
Your midfield,
he's sitting
just
watching
played
the
there.
bald bastard.
Hey, Darcy Turner.
I'd end up scalping that
Morelos
baldy bastard's
didn't
head.
he?
Oh, that's a good one. I like this one, actually. That's a good one. Darcy Turner. All right, my question for the boys: best atmosphere to play in outside of the top two.
Aye, I like the
Whether that's
question,
in
but-
Scotland or
Also, don't mind her.
who? Darcy Turner.
Very far away, but our man looks handsome, so I think he's got a kilt on.
His best atmosphere
You
is
look
well played in.
pathetic,
We'll start with you, Kev. What you saying?
Darcy's living room, I think, is the best atmosphere I could look for.
The man's looking pathetic, isn't he?
The man's looking pathetic.
I've actually read the question. I still no copy.
Come back to Kev. Right, sorry, best atmosphere.
I had a Hibs Hearts derby at Tynecastle, or I had Sunderland Newcastle at Stadium of Light, because they were
That's a good
derbies, and the Stadium of Light was some atmosphere.
I've
but-
played at Stadium of Light twice, right? And I'm not just saying this, it was a snooze fest in atmosphere.
Was it?
Honestly.
No, but
And they're a big club.
if they're doing well, you'll hear them like
Aye.
any other team. If they're not doing well, they'll sit there.
And they were in the championship at the time, to be fair. And attendance was poor.
Yeah.
Genuinely. And it was against Middlesbrough, so it's like
Middlesbrough-
a derby.
No, Middlesbrough the same, innit? Big club. but
Home
the
club,
atmosphere.
aye. Away, really
very
good.
good,
Which is
yeah.
probably like that at a lot
Same
of clubs,
in most
innit?
of the clubs, aye.
Your away fans are brilliant, home fans not so much. But aye, that
What
was...
about you, Paul?
Bucharest against Stoy Bucharest.
No, not the best game you've played in the best atmosphere. Was that right?
Bucharest fans, Heart of Romania, wild 40,000 fans there. Toxic, but amazing. So
And you were fine with that
What about
atmosphere?
in
They were
Scotland?
fine. In Scotland, Somerset was a belter.
Somerset, I like playing at Somerset,
That's
mate.
not bad,
You
eh?
get a bit at Somerset. You get a bit.
about
My
you,
favourite
Sam?
was Ellen Road. I loved Ellen Road.
Brilliant.
Is it
shout.
marching on together?
That's a
And
good
Sheffield
shout.
United. I
Aye.
love Sheffield United as well.
Aye.
And what's that?
Leeds
You
are
fill
brilliant.
up my senses. I loved it so much, mate.
West Ham.
I love
Aye.
when fans sing that. I fucking just stand and
I played
Take
West
in for a
Ham
bit.
when they did the Forever Blown Bubbles at the old bowling.
Did you, Kev?
It
Aye.
was unbelievable.
that's before every game, innit? So as it comes on.
Aye, that's
Davy
that's
Moyes just sits with the, didn't he?
I think Wolves
That's
before
Wolves
the
get
game,
calling you.
Hi ho, aye.
Oh, Wolverhampton,
That's quite good as
everywhere
well.
we go.
There's quite a few.
Portsmouth's brilliant, mate.
Sheffield
See,
United,
played
brilliant.
brilliant,
That's
mate. Fucking rocking the full time. We were getting beat for Dog and Duck 3-0, mate, and they were still fucking singing brilliant, man. Couldn't speak highly enough.
Good mentality.
Good family club, innit?
Good family, I loved it there, mate. Really
There's
loved
a
it.
team that sings, I like it, I like it, I like it, I like it.
No, that's Lynn in the bedroom.
I'm going I'm going Legia.
I better stay in, please.
That's a good one.
I'm going Legia Warsaw.
Shane played there. Is that where Boric was?
Aye.
Aye.
No, aye.
Polish.
Rangers Europa qualifier, their atmosphere, mate, was incredible. Incredible. See, I always think, right, see our fans, right, in Scotland, I think they're as passionate as anyone, but you'll get quite a large section of wee boys and like young fans that obviously people are taking to the game, and obviously younger boys, they love the experience and whatnot, but they're not going to be singing 90 minutes, they're not loud. See, when in Legia Warsaw in Poland, say it was 30,000 capacity, it was all men, like all just big hooligan men that just wanted to batter fuck out the opposition
good,
players, and all of them singing for 90 minutes, mate. 90 minutes to sing for.
I played Boric's time for Celtic, so that summer we had to go back and play them in a pre-season friendly as part of the deal. And I was on the bench, and that was one of them where the atmosphere was that bad, you were actually praying that you weren't coming on, do you know what I mean? It was rocking, I know, I get your leg, it was something.
Panathinaikos really good.
Millwall's the same, mate, but we said it before, Millwall.
Panathinaikos really good as well. But I'd say in England, same as you, Ellen Road, or we played, when I was at Middlesbrough, we played Sheffield Wednesday at Hillsborough, and they had to win to stay in the league. They were in the bottom 3 in the last game of the season. The atmosphere was unbelievable. They went 2-0 up after 10 minutes, so the place was absolutely rocking.
MK Dons good atmosphere.
That's fucking did that place, honestly.
Kevin McDonald said at Fulham, didn't have you heard the interview with Kevin McDonald? Taking a corner, looked round the boy, was reading a book, drinking a glass of Prosecco. At Fulham,
That is awful.
Mate, Fulham have the away fans and the home fans mixed as well, didn't they, last year?
That's right.
Brutal. Darcy Turner, great question. Mike Johnson, question for the boys. If you could pick one player you've played with to back in a Royal Rumble fight to the death against other clubs' hard men, who you pick? Wow. Simon Ferry, I'll start with you.
Hard man that I've played with?
Aye. Hardest ever.
Paul McGowan. Take Paul McGowan, mate.
Gowser, aye.
He's not getting up. No, he would never get beaten in a fight, mate. We used to go through Glasgow Queen Street as young boys. And in fact, we used to need to run through Barrafield to go through from Barrafield to the train station. You need to run through a scheme. And one day we get chased with all the Neds and shite myself running, mate. I just looked around and Gowser's fucking scalping about 3 of them with his big kit bag, mate. Gowser was mega bar Saturday night he'd be rolling about. Wouldn't the back down Gowser.
I tell you what, I do not fancy him.
And as a face it, he obviously doesn't mind getting punched, do you know what I mean? He's actually asking guys to punch him.
He's game as fuck.
I'll go Gowser.
Paul Slaney, who are you saying?
Craig Beattie.
Big Beats.
Beattie, mate.
He's an animal. Beats is an animal.
He is, aye.
He's not getting taken with anybody.
No, I've said to you before, innit, running the gym in Valentine's, and all of a sudden the whole gym just fucking looks over. Beats has got his headphones in, obviously oblivious to everyone else, and he's just like, and everybody like, what the fuck?
He still boxes, didn't he?
He can hit the bag, mate.
He can fight alright.
Can't wait for the bag.
No, he'll
you got
me.
fuck him.
I'd take Robert Page, the Wales manager.
What he's at Watford, didn't he?
Hard as fuck.
He was a hard boy.
He battered somebody at Coventry, didn't he?
Aye, he's hard as fuck. He's just hard as
You know,
fuck.
going to tell us the time when he battered somebody?
I told him a million
another one,
times.
mate.
Michael Doyle's 4 teeth less for that. Carry on.
Oh, is that who he battered, Michael Doyle?
Didn't batter him, he just hit him one punch, but it was a punch that fucking Michael Doyle's head just left his body for 5-10 minutes and came back.
Andy, what about you?
His touch leaves his body every time he gets on the pitch.
I think.
What a performance this is for you, by the way?
You've been sensational, David.
It's
It's pity about Saturday, but I think I'm going to go Clint Hill. Which might surprise a few people, to be honest, but just a fucking warrior, that guy. Genuinely. Every single day in training, whether it was a Champions League final or a Monday afternoon in training, he would just put his head absolutely anywhere. And see if he scalped him in the head, he would literally just get straight back up. I've never seen him stay on the floor for a tackle, an elbow, anything. He's just straight back up. Can he fight? We'll soon see in the Royal Rumble fight. But
you'd put your head down there, wouldn't it?
I fucking love to put my head down there.
Aye.
Oh, fucking right.
What? Who's your hat? Oh, you said Beats. So out the ones that we've picked, who do you think we've done? I'm going Robert Page.
I'm going Beats there.
No, in fact, Beats would be.
No, Page. Robert Page.
GMS must be up there now.
He just missed out to Clint, to be
Will we
honest.
do that? Will we do the opposite?
The biggest pussy.
Do you want
a tickle fight in the ring.
Who done a tickle fight? Let's put it that way. Who done a tickle fight?
Tickle fight.
Big tickle fight in the ring.
Can a fight standing on your head, can you?
I don't know, actually, that's a hard one.
Tickle fight.
Fuck, I know one.
Big tickle fight.
Is it?
I'd actually love to say one, do you know that? And I've not got the bottle to say it.
It's a Rangers player.
I fucking love to say it.
Josh Windass. He's in his boxing, Josh Windass, isn't he? He's in his boxing. Right, we'll leave
he's not a hard man.
We don't want any more lawsuits. Right, what's the next one? Paul,
Right, fan question, Kevin. Sorry, Paul, you asked this one actually, because
That's a fucking long one you've gave me.
Go on, let's hear it. I want a word for word.
Oh, here we go. Fan
Who's
question
it
from
by?
Kevin. Let me see.
What does Kevin look like? Get a wee close
He
up.
looks not bad, by the way. Looks like he's wearing the Newcastle strip, doesn't it?
Can we start making the pictures a bit bigger just so we can
let's
get a good look at
comment on
Look
them.
at the and can we stick Darcy's up again next week if we can get the pictures?
but just her.
Just her.
Don't worry, man, standing in there. Okay, for Kevin, I know Si has taken a lot from Tommy Burns and DeCanio into his coaching, but which person in football would the other lads say they've learned the most from?
Who's holding a gun to his head?
I know.
It doesn't even need to be coaching. It could just be a bit of advice that helped them and that they'd use.
That they'd use.
Should they choose to become a manager?
That's a good question.
It's a great question.
Great question.
I would rather be a bit more
Don't ever do it. That's what I'm going to say.
Chuck the coach.
Do not do it.
I'm going to start with you anyway. I know you have mentioned the Cano and Tommy Birds, but is there anybody else? Life, coaching, anything?
Gordon Greer gave me great advice, mate, as a
Gordon
player.
Greer, aye.
Great player. Great guy. He was my captain at Swindon. I'd started off really well at Swindon, first 2 games, and then went away to Walsall, and Danny Wilson hooked me at half-time. Half-time just fucking battered us. You need to change, you need to fucking grow up, toughen up, you need to win second balls, you need to kick it in behind. And Gordon Greer came up to us straight away. He's like, didn't listen to what he's just said to you. You've got to where you are through being who you are. Stick to who you are. Stick with you. That's what's got you here. That's what's going to get you to where you're going to go. And then obviously I went fuck all, so I wish I'd never listened to him.
No, I've got a lot of time for that. Love it, Gordon Greer. Kev?
I like Gordon. He's always telling us stuff.
Probably Niall Quinn, just because of how humble he was, and he just always tried to encourage us just to be us. Don't change for anybody. Just like he said, similar to what Gordon Greer said, you are where you are because somewhere along the lines somebody's identified something in you, so just believe in that. And then obviously just away from football and that, just be a kind person, try and be respectful.
And
standards. Standards. And even like met him maybe 6 months ago in a charity match and could not wait to meet the guy again because just to chat to him for 5 minutes because he's deemed in that level of respect from everybody. So I might not be, but some days we make mistakes, we get things wrong, but as long as you're able to learn from your mistakes, that's the bit of advice I would always take.
Good, Kev, I like that, was nice. Wee Sean Maloney for me.
Right, what was it?
I was obviously struggling through injuries.
This is, see, I'm not... I want to hear it.
So Sean Maloney, physios were saying a wee bit in that he made sure he was straight into the physios to fucking do it properly. Do you know what I mean? Looked after me. And a senior player, when you get there, sometimes even the ball with young boys, he made sure I was alright. Made sure things was done properly. Says a lot about him as a person.
Like it.
And he got kids fare on the bus as well, didn't he?
That's one of the biggest
saved you a lot of money.
Andy?
I think coaching wise, obvious one, I'd say Beale. Probably Michael Beale. He's probably the one that I've learnt the most off of, in terms of on the pitch, off the pitch. Further on in football, if I want to take up coaching myself, I've learned so much of him, to be honest. Now with the 20s, 90% of stuff I do came for him. But it's just because I feel as if that's what gets the best out of players. I think it will develop young players the best. So him in terms of coaching, in terms of within football or outside football, Jonathan Woodgate, similar to what you're saying about Niall Quinn, the most humble man ever, multi-millionaire, played for Real Madrid, played in the biggest games in football, but took so much of his time out to help younger players. And when I signed for Middlesbrough, I was only 18. He came after 2 years, so I was still 20, and every day inviting us into his house. He's like, just took so much time out to just say, similar, you're here for a reason. Obviously, go and express yourself. Don't be intimidated by this guy or this guy. This guy's played so many games in the Premiership, international. Like, you're here for a reason, and just go and be yourself. So I'd say different class.
Super, good question.
That's a good idea. Well done. This part of the show is decent.
Did you think of that for yourself?
Wow, I love this one. Vata.
What does this mean? Is this in a game or is it head
Vata Rude Boy?
Well,
that's definitely Ryan Kent in it.
If it was fighting,
Big Vata Rude Boy, Ryan Kent has asked who would win a 2v2? Sign Kev versus Andy and Slaney.
What is it? What kind of 2v2 is it?
If it's a fight, we're toiling.
I'm done.
If it's a fight,
if
it's a game of football, then I'm going to have to turn to the manager.
Well, I'm thinking about the game of football. He'll be your attacking player, you'll be your defensive player.
So you'd look
I'll be
after
defensive,
him.
you'd be attacking.
So you look after him and I'll look after Andy.
I'm just kept putting up, you're dunking him at.
2v2, what? As in like
a goal on each side.
Or...
Goal each side, me and Kev versus you and Slaney.
Us two, all day.
Well, why don't we organise it then? I'm willing to put money on that.
No problem.
Don't do football, can we just do head tennis?
Well, just think, our goalie's chucking the ball in the area and you're here in the goal.
We'll beat the ball.
I'll wrestle him.
We'll beat them to the ball.
100%.
Get that video, 2v2.
We could get that, I think, but...
Let's look at the flip side, right? When we get the ball and we run it, use two fat bastards, what you's going to do?
He did tennis would be brilliant.
Listen.
Right, well, we'll do it.
He did tennis would be good. He's unbelievable, he did tennis though.
Play on him, but...
This could be a thing. This could settle the argument.
I'm up for that, 100%. And I'm not going to put a forfeit on it, are you?
Right, okay.
All day.
What's the forfeit? He did tennis and that's
something stupid.
Aye, I'm up for it.
He did tennis and a forfeit.
We'll get it sorted.
Get the viewers.
It's big enough for there. I get something. Is that?
Aye, get the viewers to decide a.
Aye, no, let's get Big V. Let's get Big V to do the forfeit.
No, let's get Darcy to think of something.
But send it to Si through Instagram DM.
No, do not. Chopper.
Right, Chopper 3596. Will there be a boy born who can swim faster than a shark? Just before any of you answer that, I want to congratulate Chopper on the worst question we've had in this segment of the show. So.
He's got the guy for the Halifax advert as his picture. Which is making me very horny.
Remember he used to present the SPL title? The guy for Halifax?
What was his name again? Howard.
Howard. What's Howard?
Is it Howard?
We'll move on for him. We'll give him that.
Let's one of you. Is that
a joke?
Let's give you some. But let's give Chopper. Let's give Chopper the.
I'll race it something as well.
Will you actually?
Up and back, and that's it. Right.
Will there be a boy?
I'm not want to bet good money on that.
Right, Biggie's 2 weeks.
Let's
get
2 weeks. How much fat are you going to get in 2 weeks?
Let me get a few levels in first. He's 2 weeks. He did it.
100%.
Swimming race.
Aye.
Let's answer that.
I'll put you at the water.
Cross
a big pool.
What, you beat us?
I'll beat the two of you.
I'll bet you.
Freeze then.
I'll beat the two of you.
Right.
Freeze, go for it.
Freeze then, right?
Right, okay.
You can ref it.
Aye, if you want. I'm not going to.
How long? How long? 25 metres?
No, 2 lanes, down back.
Up and back.
Up and down.
Oh, I don't know if I've got the stamina for 2.
No, you have. 2, you have?
You'd win a short one.
I'd win a short one, aye. Big hands, fucking size 12 feet.
We'll get in a lane each.
Get my propeller going, it'll be alright.
You'll be fine. Right, will there be a boy born who can swim faster than a shark?
No.
Because they're a joke, must be a joke.
It must be, aye.
It's off the office, isn't it?
Is it?
Gareth asked that question, huh?
So he does. Still a pish question though, isn't it?
Nah, shite.
Come on, Chopper.
But it's been good section.
Andy Halliday, brilliant.
Well done, great idea.
Questions in for next week.
Aye.
We got raunchy here, I would say.
Some raunchy ones, some football ones, maybe outside football ones or not. I think there's only one guy that's got to take this next bit over, and it's the man who tipped Dundee United to finish third in the league. Dundee United are in a bad rut at the moment. A poor 3-0 loss to St Mirren. What's gone wrong there, Paul Slaney?
You can get beat at the start of the season sometimes when a new manager comes. You need to give him time, of course, but it's in the manner of how they're getting beat, conceding that many goals. And the question there, what's going wrong with them? What has?
So I've got a wee bit. I could be completely wrong here, right? But I'm only seeing for what I'm seeing on highlights. I don't think Dundee United were an attacking team last year. I think Tam Courts was a defensive manager. I think they were really good defensively.
Right.
I don't think they were a team that went to try and win games of football in terms of the other teams half dominate the ball in their half. They're now trying to be that under Jack Ross, and at any time that I've seen goals that conceded, it's on the transition. They're getting the ball taken off them. Teams are countering on them. And again, it's going to take Jack Ross time to go for making the team a defensive team and a team that he wants to beat. It's not just going to happen in 8 weeks. And that's where I see that Dundee United are getting caught.
Well, St Mirren, that was in the game on Saturday. St Mirren were great in the counter. Kept hitting the counter. The boy up front, it's terrible. I know he's not good. He was excellent.
He's very good.
That ball in behind, and you're right, that could be, but they need to. It's almost for that the Alkmaar game, innit? Since then, because they got the good start and then for then they're just conceding. But
and then that's what you get with players at that level. I feel when you do go and get a result like that, are they as brave as they were the first 2 games? And if you want to dominate the ball, are you as brave as you were in the first 2? Then you start, go deeper? Are we going to lose it? What's going to happen when we lose it? And that's where it's going to take Jack Ross time to. It's not just the playing you need to fix, it's also the mentality of, no, this is the team that we are, we're going to dominate.
I think as well, for what I've seen for Dundee United is like they're trying to be a possession team, which is brilliant, but I feel as if quite a lot of it's possession for possession's sake. I don't think they actually try and penetrate too much or create numerous chances. You look at the possession stats there against St Mirren, but watching the highlights, never really had any clue.
See what you just said, Andy, they didn't finish attacks. So it's always a pointless pass that they end up getting the ball taken off them and getting killed.
When you're signing somebody like Stephen Fletcher.
It's happening to us just now.
You're signing Stephen Fletcher, what's he good at? He's good at balls in the box, getting on the end of things.
100%.
And United don't do that. They pass. When you think, just pass it and put it in, make and defend. Because I'm pretty sure if you got him on and spoke to him, you say, what are you frustrated with? Or they're not putting balls in the box.
Mayors. The size of Mayors.
And then obviously when they're attacking, Dylan Levitt, giving the ball away, and then Charlie and the big boy Edwards, maybe not the quickest. So these guys are playing on the shoulders and they're getting the ball in, and Charlie and big Edwards they're struggling to get back in.
Yeah, again, where Charlie and Edwards were really good last year because they're defending deeper. That's what kind of defenders are. They now need to go defend on the halfway line.
I'm still flinging it out there as well, and people can come from me if they want. I don't worry about Dundee United at all.
No.
I still think they'll be fine. Good players, good manager, good squad as well. We look at the depth they've got now. I still think they will turn it around.
So what we're thinking, Jack Ross or Cy Ferry sack first?
But see on that with the, as you said, as in they're now sort of higher up the defenders. See with the defeats, do you need to stick with that and say we are going to keep playing that way?
I think so. Well, we're going, aren't we? We're not going to fucking change now.
But what does he maybe change slightly though?
I think he just needs a cut the training sessions.
Couple more
You just need to keep that, didn't you?
What the surprising thing with the United is the fact that with the drew with AZ Alkmaar at home, how high the whole club was. They had like a sellout at Tannadice, and then all of a sudden they get beat 7-0, and they've just on a small. What they lost 3-4 games out of the last 4.
I think they've lost the last 3.
Last 3, but they could go and win next week, and everything could just change again. It's just, I don't think there's a disaster happening. I think it's just St Mirren would sit in and try to play on the counter attack. I think if the United had got a goal on Saturday, then they probably went on and win the game comfortably. Mm-hmm. But because we're talking about, me personally, I was talking about St Mirren a few weeks ago, struggling. They've now won 2 in the bounce, and you're like, right, okay, what's that like? Thinking Ross County would be. There's a lot of teams that would presume at the beginning doing things are doing the opposite. So we thought Dundee United would be up there.
I think that first win for Dundee United is massive. Yeah. I just think that the relief within the players, and I think they'll grow confidence for that. But that first win is huge, and
they get as quick as possible.
I don't think they get it at the weekend, which makes it disappointing. But I do think they'll be fine.
They've got good players, like good squad players. They'll be all right. It's just getting that first win, and I don't think you can put too much pressure on Jack Ross. Jack Ross is a good manager. Yeah. Give him time.
Definitely.
Well done,
Mark O'Hara, great signing for something. I only seen at the weekend that he was there, made him captain. I always liked O'Hara.
How good's it driving with the ball?
Very good.
Isn't he?
Can run all day, mate.
So important that, especially when you do hit the counter as well, that you can get. We are saying obviously you can sometimes hit the striker, he odds up and get your team up, but when you get a player like that driving up, it's very hard to.
I think the boy Ayungu that you mentioned is the one for me though. Yeah, I think he'll be the real difference maker for St Mirren.
You look at Ross County last year, that's what they had, didn't they? When they've maybe not got that this year, and look how they're struggling.
Well, the boy Edwards, to be fair, I think he's probably the only one that you say that you've seen so far for Ross County. He obviously gets a goal at the weekend.
Snoddy, maybe coming back to Scotland. Motherwell would be a great signing for Motherwell, wouldn't it?
Be great for Scottish football as well.
Well, Slaney's obviously promised a few interviews and a few guests. So
that's Bruni, Snoddy.
Well, I'm actually I'm in talks now with Robert Snodgrass.
I'll get it done then.
We're in early contact.
If he gets him ahead of you, then
I haven't got the Snoddy, man. That's not in my.
I think he promised it.
No, it's not. I did actually. I let us do
last week when Stevie McLaughlin was on, said that right, best mate.
I've been in early contact talks with Snoddy's agent, regardless of what Motherwell are saying. I think we might be able to nab him first.
Brilliant.
How we keep the ball on the ground next Monday.
But you're getting the Fanar under 14s managers for years, so
my time's up. I think,
yeah. See if Snoddy comes on, I think it could do top 5 most viewed.
If I let him,
I'm telling you.
If I let him be who he wants to be on the show.
Funniest, probably funniest guy I've played with. He could be tremendous.
Funnier than.
We'll see how big he is on the show.
Yeah,
we'll see how big he is.
Aye.
You coming for him?
See when Steve McLaughlin told the story about his uncle. He told the story about his uncle. I know the uncle he's talking about, right? And we used to go to the gym. We used to go to this gym we live in. We trained back in Glasgow, right?
You've obviously stopped that.
And it was a gym that Snoddy's uncle Robert used to train in. And Snoddy used to just wind him up all the time. So we were in and now that mad free machine, the chest press one. So Snoddy was on it, and Snoddy's uncle Robert came up and went, "Robert, bet you £100 I can do every weight on that 10 reps. Snoddy was like, no chance he's £100 he put it to the bottom one, right? He does this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. £100.
Did he give it?
No, he didn't do 1 rep, he just shook that thing for 10 reps.
I don't know,
I'll
speak to Snoddy and see how his terms are. See if I want him on the show or not.
So what are the terms?
I'll see how he's going to be. Let me sort it.
What about never mind coming on the diet podcast? What about him? You allowing
the diet podcast?
The diet podcast. Mate.
What about him? You allowing him to go to your football club, Motherwell, mate? If you gave permission for that?
No, listen, I'd like him.
He'd be the type you'd want on it.
He was the best winger there since you were there.
He's not winger, is he? Now he'll be playing in the middle of the pitch somewhere. But brilliant, Stevie Hamill, another win, amazing.
Great for Stevie Hamill. Really.
Snoddy, if he goes in there. He'll just add that extra wee bit of quality, experience in the dressing room with the boys. So that's a must for Stevie Hamill.
Spoke to Paul McGinn yesterday at the Celtic game. Said he's enjoying it.
Did he?
Brilliant. It's good. Standards.
Motherwell, see when you think about Motherwell, they've got some decent players and that. See that big boy up front, Kevin Van Veen? I think he's very good.
Yeah, he is good.
I think he's very good.
Where was Snoddy playing now? Position?
10.
He played centre mid for Luton, didn't he? I think Luton played like a diamond. He played on the side of a diamond.
Yeah, but good for him to come back to Scottish football.
Cal's doing well.
Big result for Cal at the weekend.
They needed that, didn't they?
How did you obviously talk about Merlin Michael Beale? How's he doing at QPR?
They drew one each with Rotherham at the weekend. I think they've done alright. I think they've only lost one game, but I think they drew.
The goalie scored last week to get Madrid as well, didn't he? Love that for him.
That was against Sunderland, right? 2-2.
But even there, Andy's talking about how good a coach he is. Just shows you it'll take him time as well.
100%.
Oh, aye.
100%. Mate, look at Gerrard. I believe Gerrard's a very good manager there. Toiler. Can't win a game.
See that? Him and Lampard have got a worse record at their clubs than Gary Neville had at
Valencia. Aye.
Scary, mate.
Did you actually see Gary Neville's record at Valencia though? I mean, it's not great.
No.
But it's no like...
Couldn't speak the language, you know.
Have you watched the Gary Neville interview with Stephen Bartlett?
Brilliant, loved it.
He's a man, honestly.
He is a man.
Stephen Bartlett.
Loved
He's
it.
an entrepreneur type guy that does a lot of business.
He's got a
podcast. Gary Neville. Mate, he's worth fortunes.
Yeah, the hotels and all that.
He's
Gary Neville,
70 million, 70, 80 million quid.
Good on him.
I could listen to him and Jamie Carragher all day, mate.
Same.
I really could.
I know. Gary Neville would be a coup for us boys. A coup.
For us.
A coup, whatever you call it.
Boys call you and Dale Gary and Phil Neville, didn't they?
But see with Gary Neville, somebody said he's grilled Ten Hag in his interview, which is horrific.
Aye, that's his job.
But he never done it with Solskjaer ever.
Oh,
He
right,
was the
that's
opposite.
good. I like it. No,
You can't do that. That's unfair. He's doing that now to the new manager and he didn't open his mouth once for Solskjaer, so that's perhaps sacking for this guy if he does that. Well, he's well done. You're right.
Oh no, we need to say we Jude's going to
amazing.
No.
Let's
put pressure on him, we curly talk.
No, obviously Saturday we're back at
It's a different Jude.
But, no, it's no Jude. It's Condor at 2014's and this is the first experience I've had of a scout approaching me about a couple of the boys. So obviously one of the new boys has been asked to go to St Mirren and obviously replayed it over to his dad what his thoughts would be, but his dad was quite keen for him just to possibly just stay with me and train. He says, what difference is he going to get going through there? He says, believes in what I do, and then he obviously mentioned I said about another Jude, and he says, that Jude there, he says, that's Simon's boy, so he's good as well. So St Mirren scouting taking notice, a couple of the boys for Condor. Si's calling his wee man Cully to him.
If St Mirren came in, he'd be away for you. I don't know that.
See, to be fair, see that last game on Saturday? See that last game on Saturday? He was fucking brilliant.
Oh, he just runs him in tackle, mate. Just the heart and desire, innit?
I know, but that's... See, the rest of them had that effort.
Brilliant for the wee man.
Brilliant.
Good on.
Well done, lads. That was good.